Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I have some devastating news and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I will put this out there so that everyone knows what's happening across the board. So truth be told, I really do not want to share this news. I do not like it and you do not like it either, but you guys must know. As of yesterday, the government of the UK has announced some major changes that will affect immigrants coming under the skilled worker visa route. And I will just read something small here that will really shock people. But it says that the first point of our 5 point plan will be the end to the abuse of the health and care worker visa. We will stop overseas care workers bringing family dependents and will require care firms in England to be regulated by the Care Quality Commission in order to sponsor visas. I think what we need to do is let's just first get into this 5 point plan, these five plans that have been put in place that are due to be effected as of next year 2024. By spring they want to effect these changes. So let's go through these plans and then I think I'll share my 2 cents after, because I think I'll share my 2 cents after we've gone through these 5 plans. So like I said, things were announced yesterday and I'm just gonna share my screen so that we know exactly what we're talking about. So this was published yesterday by the Home Office that the UK government will introduce a plan to deliver the biggest ever cut in net migration and curb abuse of the immigration system. This was published yesterday. For me, I feel like I've read it several times. I just feel like it's a way of these people trying to reduce the number of immigrants in the country. That's just what I feel. Anyway, so basically, they plan to slash migration levels and curb abuse of the immigration system. So basically, they are aiming to target 300,000 less people who can come to the UK. And they have like a plan, like a 5 point plan that will end the high numbers of dependents coming to the UK. It will also increase the minimum salaries that overseas workers and British or settled people sponsoring family members must earn. Okay. So they plan to effect these changes by next year, spring 2024. That's about March. And so let's just read through this. Honestly, this thing pissed me off, but let me just read through it anyway. Okay. So it says from next spring, the government will increase the earning threshold for overseas workers by nearly 50% from its current position of 26,200 to 38,000. Encouraging businesses to look for British talent first and invest in their workforce, helping us to deter employees from over-relying on migration, whilst bringing salaries in line with the average full-time salary for those types of jobs. Now, basically what this means is, usually when you're coming under sponsorship and your trust sponsors you, the least that this trust should be paying you is 26,200 per annum. Now let's see what exactly this means. If you come here to the healthcare worker visa on the Gov UK website, the salary requirements are you usually need to be paid at least 26,200 per year, which is roughly 10.75 pounds per hour. So that is the least your sponsor should be paying you for coming to work in the UK. And now they are planning to increase it to 38,700. I do not know which sponsor will sponsor anyone, or rather will promise to pay someone this amount of money per annum. I don't know which sponsor, but I just feel like this is this is too much, because I do not know who will sponsor you to be paying you 38,700, almost 50% increase from what the threshold usually is. Let's go to point 2. So point 2 says to crack down on cut price labor from overseas, the government will end the 20% going rate for salary discount for shortage occupations and replace the shortage occupation list with a new immigration salary list, which will retain a general threshold discount. The Migration Advisory Committee will review the list against the increased salary thresholds in order to reduce the number of occupations on the list. So basically, this just says that when you go to the Gov.uk website, there's a shortage occupation list for the people who can actually get skilled worker visas. So this just means that they're trying to shorten the list and just have very minimal occupations on that list. I'll drink to that, because I don't know how this is going to work. I feel like this will bring a very big problem. Okay, I'm jumping. I'm already jumping. I'm already commenting. Let's go to the list first, and then I'll comment after. Okay. The other thing is, the third one is the new package measures builds on the tough action already taken to tackle the substantial rise in students bringing dependents to the UK, which will come into force in the new year. We expect this change will have a tangible impact on net migration, with around 153,000 visas granted to dependents of sponsor students in the year ending September 2023. This, along with the changes announced today, will further protect the integrity and quality of higher education. So this was already there, and it was something that was discussed, and it was something that they were planning to sort of handle, that if you're coming to study, then they will not grant visas to your family. That was sort of already there. But let's see the other one. Okay, I jumped the gun. The government will tighten the health and care visa, which is the main route that brings most immigrants into the UK, which has seen a significant number of visas granted to care workers and their dependents, by preventing overseas care workers from bringing their dependents to the UK. Let me drink to that one. I swear, if this was alcohol, I would be drunk. Now, care workers will not be allowed to bring any dependents to the UK, and care firms will be required to be registered with the Care Quality Commission to sponsor visas. I don't know in whose mind it seems right for you to bring someone, an immigrant from another country, to come work for you, and you cannot allow their family to come. You're making it hard for them, for their family to come. And on the other hand, I don't know in whose right mind you will leave your wife and your children, or you can leave your husband and your children to come and work in the UK. I don't know, maybe that seems normal to some people, but that's not normal to me. And this is just a recipe for disaster, especially for the healthcare in the UK. It's a recipe for disaster. This is already making the UK extremely unattractive to immigrants who would want to come work here, because I don't understand why you would do that to people. In anyone's right mind, you're already losing the market, because I don't know in whose right mind who will leave their wife and children, who will leave their husband and children to come work here in the UK, and they can't bring their dependents. It just doesn't make sense. This is tough for everyone. This is especially tough for anyone who is to come work here and they can't bring their family here. And that's one of the worst things you can ever think of. When moving to another country, you can't have your family close to you, it's already hard that you drop everything back in your country. You drop your business, you drop your work, you drop everything to start from scratch in a new country, new culture, new everything. And you come here and they tell you you can't bring your family members, you can't bring your dependents. So then, what good are you to them if you don't have your family around you? Because family holds you down. So what good are you to them? So this will bring a rise in mental health issues. This will bring a rise in a lot of things. And at the end of the day, the healthcare sector will suffer. This, for me, this is a recipe for disaster. Honestly speaking, that's my personal opinion from what I've read and what I've seen. And I feel like there should have been better ways of handling people bringing their families. That one is the one that has affected me the most and will affect very many people. If you can't bring your loved ones where you're working, where you're planning to settle, you can't bring your loved ones. So in as much as they're trying to curb immigration and sort of manage, everything that's happening, I think that this is too much in my own personal opinion. I feel like this is too much, but this is the worst news. This is the worst news, especially news that you can't bring your family. This is the worst news ever that people have to listen to or to read. Anyway, I've just learned of this and it feels really bad, of course. Anyway, I do hope that they find a way to go around this, because this is too much for any immigrant coming to work in the UK and have left their family home. So I believe that most immigrants make up a large percentage of the workforce in skilled workers, whether it's NHS trust, whether it's private sector. That's what I believe, and this is going to bring problems. Like, my lighting just went off, but according to me, this will bring problems. Anyway, I don't like touching on immigration issues, but I just had to tell you guys that there are changes in effect and they are coming forward and they are being pushed forward by next year, spring 2024. These changes may probably come into effect, so guys better be ready, because this is happening and it's happening now. So anyway, that's it for today, guys. Like I said, sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I do want to do this, but I had to, so that you guys know exactly what's happening. So see you in the next one, and bye bye.